Hi everyone, my name is Emily Tosh and I'm a consultant with Usborne Books and More, and I'm here to share with you my favorite picture book for your children. So I want to start out with this brand new series. It's a beautiful series, and my personal favorite is the Play Me Some Music. These are gorgeously illustrated little books teaching your children about expressing themselves through the arts and through writing and through the spaces that they create. This is all about music, playing music through the streets and watching how ballerinas dance to music, and talking about how we play music at special times like weddings and birthdays, and even lullabies before bed. So this is a fantastic book for any of you with little music makers out there. We also have its companion book, Build Me a Home, which is going to be a very similar style book with a really gorgeous, sweet illustrations. Build me a cabin with shutters and flowers. We'll have great adventures in the mountains for hours. Build me a rocket with beds that can fly. We'll have so much fun floating in the sky. I love these books. If I were to recommend any picture book series out of the whole catalog, I would highly recommend this series. And we also have Tell Me a Story for creative writers and Paint Me a Picture. So that is a fantastic series you're going to want to check out for all the little artists and budding writers in your life. We also have Also an Animal. This is a brand new release from Kane Miller. Just came out in July of 2018. This is all about the ways in which we love our children. It goes through all the different animals and how they love their offspring. If you were a puffling, then I'd be a puffin. I wouldn't let anyone hurt you for nothing. If you were a tadpole, I'd be a frog. You'd swim down below while I sunned on the log. So just really sweet analogies to help our children understand that they are loved. This is a great book to read before bedtime. A book that I consider very similar would be Americanly, and it's all the ways, again, that we love our children, except this time, instead of being related to an animal, it is related to the United States of America. I love you colossally, like the High Cascades. I love you diversely, like the Texas Big Bend. I love you strongly, like the Tornado Alley's wind. I love you intensely, like Niagara Falls. So it just goes through all these different landmarks in our country, and it talks about how we love our children and how that relates to these major landmarks. This is a really neat book if you want to kind of introduce your children to some special landmarks in the United States. We have another series that is basically classics turned into picture books. These are all have a great padded hardcover. They're only $9.99, and so you're getting a really nice binding with a beautiful picture. This is adapted from Rudyard Kipling's Just So Stories, How the Camel Got Its Hump. So there's a whole series of these talking about how animals came to be the way that they are. We also have many classics that look a lot like this book, including Anne of Green Gables and Robin Hood. So definitely check these out for bringing the classics to your smaller children that maybe aren't quite ready for a larger chapter book, but they can understand these stories in picture book form. Cuddle Bear Book of Hugs is just a classic book for especially anyone who's going through a hard time. It's just really a very comforting book about Cuddle Bear, who cuddles when he can, and he hugs everyone, and he's just a really happy bear. And you can also get the plush Cuddle Bear that comes with this one. So just really bright, cute pictures to cheer up anyone who may be going through a hard time. This is Cuddle Bear's Book of Hugs. And for all of you dinosaur lovers out there, I wanted to share Nibbles the Dinosaur Guide, classic picture book from Kane Miller. This is by Emma Yarlett, and she has written another fantastic book about Nibbles, who's a book monster who likes to eat through the pages. You can see he eats through these pages. There's actually holes in the pages. And in this case, he's eating through a dinosaur guide, and he's going to enter the prehistoric world of dinosaurs. And we're going to learn all about dinosaurs through Nibbles' eyes. So this is just, again, a great, very creative way to teach your children about dinosaurs. And they're just going to laugh their way through this book. And they're going to want to read it over and over and over again. This book is just gorgeously illustrated and very creative. Lots of really fun, unique things about the Nibbles series. For those of you who are grandparents or just for those of us that have kids that think our moms might enjoy this book, this is called Grandma's Favorite, and it's all about all the wonderful things that grandparents can do with their grandchildren. So lots of stories about adventures, songs they like to sing you when you're sick, and card games that they like to play, and bedtime stories that they like to read. But the moral of the story at the end is very sweet. It's that grandma's favorite is always her grandchild. So this is a great book for grandmas to read to their grandkids. Highly recommend it. There's also Grandpa's Favorite to go along with it. Two books that are just favorites of mine, favorite picture books of mine, are Busy Trucks on the Go and Dan the Taxi Man, both written by Eric Odie. Really great sing-song-y text, written by an author who's also a children's songwriter. So you can really tell that he is a songwriter in the text of his stories. This is all about busy trucks on the go. So those of you that have little ones that absolutely love cars and want to know all about the city around them, you're going to want to check out Busy Trucks on the Go by Eric Odie. And then another story by Eric Odie, also about a taxi man who goes around town and picks up the band. And I always like to say this book is very special to me because it was the book that helped us when we had our son was struggling with speech development when he was younger. We read this book to him over and over again, and he really began to speak after reading this book because it had a lot of repetition and things that he could say like beep beep and other sounds that the musicians make as they come into this taxi. So this is a really fantastic book. Anyone with any children with special needs may really enjoy this read aloud, that they can enjoy and read aloud over and over with their child. So Dan the Taxi Man. And last but not least, we have the How Deep is the Sea? This is about little Pipkin who has lots and lots of questions. So if you have a child who loves to ask questions, you're going to want to try out How Deep is the Sea? He's always asking questions, and he just has to know how deep is the sea. So he goes exploring, he goes down to the deepest depths of the sea. And in the end, you get to take out of this little envelope here a picture that is a nice big poster that talks about how deep is the sea, and it actually opens all the way up. So this is a great poster for you to hang up in your child's room. They're going to love learning how deep is the sea, and it's going to help them begin to understand just how big the world is around them. So How Deep is the Sea? Fantastic picture book. I hope you enjoyed these picture books from Usborne and Kane Miller, and enjoy the rest of the party.